Okay, this is not my day. I've had several things go wrong today. Several major things go wrong today. She only works when she's green! And I discovered that these videos that I spent tons of time on organizing, gathering materials, and then making them, she stops working at the 49-minute mark, and I didn't know it. And now I have to go back and do a bunch of videos that are almost impossible to go back and redo. It sounds like jibba 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 jibba. And I'm like, good Lord. So I need all the support I can get today. If you could please stick around for the whole video and check out my Flashback Monday. I gotta go back and do all 5 of these videos. I'm devastated. It's gonna take a tremendous amount of time. If you could also check out Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Fridays and If Then on Fridays and Flashback Monday and my James Patterson Alex Cross recap and my J.R. Ward Black Dagger Brotherhood reviews. And go check out the Victoria Thompsons. We just finished up and we just started C.S. Harris. And I'm having a major panic attack. We'll see what happens. So, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Tina. This is where we read books. No special effects going on here. I need some extra loving today. Please hit the like and subscribe. It's just horrible that the audio is not working. I don't know what to do. And the big clincher is that my notes for today have disappeared off my computer. And I'm going to be flying by the seat of my pants, and I'm going to be taking lots of notes so I can know what I did. And if the audio goes screwy on this, maybe I can come back to it. So that's why I'm in a state of panic right now. I want this to be a good video. I worked really hard in gathering all the materials for this video and putting it together. And it's just... Ugh. Yes, ma'am. Are you trying to support me? Are you trying to give me extra loving today? I need extra loving today. Alright. So I I I might do a reread on this series. Um but the books took a really long time to gather, and I gave them all back, and I shouldn't have given them back. I shouldn't have donated them. I should have kept them because they are really hard books to find. And it took a while to gather them up. Uh and I read the first 13, 14 before the main character to tell you the truth, he's a slut. And it's one thing if you meet somebody and gain a little bit of rapport and relationship with, and then do the bedroom activities. But this particular, because the character is a male, and he got to a point, and I will come back to these because they'll be fun to complain about if I can gather them up. It'll take a while, so we're gonna do some. We'll probably do Catherine Coulter series before we do this. After we do Patterson, to give me time to gather up these books again, because it'll take a while. And I even bought a couple. Well, I bought several actually, and I ended up donating to the library, so I might have to buy them all over again because those things are gone. Those things are long gone. Those people bought those up quick because they're very hard to get hold of. So I may have to buy them again. It's gonna suck. There's over 60 books in the series. And I'm a series person, and I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm into this series." And um like I said, Barrington is a slut. Massive slut. He was going to get engaged to this woman. He was supposedly in love with this woman. His heart was all in this woman. and he had a ring in his pocket and everything, and she decides to elope with somebody else, and within 2 hours he's in bed with a lady he picked up, a potential client. I know, but it's a good series, so we may go back to it, and I may do it for the videos. So the first book, oh, so much for my discombobulation today. This is private investigators or private detectives or cops that used, or detectives, private detectives that used to be cops and got fired or let go or retired and are now private eyes or private detectives. This is private detectives. And Stone Barrington was a cop, and he got let go, and he opened it up his own uh agency, or he's a private eye. It's just him, uh and it's just him. He's working, as far as I know. I was only 13 books into it, so as far as I know, he's still working by himself as a private eye. So book 1, we'll do a picture, is New York Dead, and it's the first of 65, and he's got a ghostwriter now. Um, so someone else has picked up writing his books. My screen. Okay. Everyone is telling Stone Barrington that he's too smart to be a cop, but it's pure luck that places him on the street in the dead of night, just in time to witness the horrifying incident that turns his life inside out. Suddenly, he's on the front page of the New York newspaper, and his life is hopelessly entwined in the shocking life and death of Sasha Nijinsky, the country's hottest and most beautiful television anchor woman. No matter where he turns, the case is waiting for him, haunting his nights and turning his days into a living hell. Stone finds himself caught in a perilous web of unspeakable crimes and dangerous friends with one common thread, Sasha. So then we have New York Dead, Dirt, Dead in the Water, Swimming to Catalina, Worst Fears Realized. And I might be able to get New York. Well, I'm going to work on it. So you'll see those maybe in next year. We'll see how long it takes me to gather them. So that's your first private eye or private detective, is Barrington. Stuart Woods. The second one is Linda Barnes. This is a 12-book series. And it's the Carlotta Kyle series. Since A Trouble of Fools is the book that introduces readers to ex-Boston cop and PI Carlotta Carlisle, who knows trouble when she sees it, like the old Irish lady offering a grand in cash to find her brother. Since being banned from the Boston police for insubordination after 6 years of service, Carlotta Carlisle has set up shop as a private investigator, ready to deal with anything from lost pets to substantially grander larcenies. Though Carlotta, a 6-foot-tall redhead ex-cop, part-time cabbie, and nephronite private eye, works out at home, it's rare the clients stop by unannounced, especially clients like the genteel, reserved, elderly spinster Margaret Devons. With cash flow problems and a caseload so light that she's taken to reading her cat's mail, Carlotta accepts the case of Miss Devon's missing brother Eugene. Oddly enough, Carlotta knew Eugene when they worked together back at Green and White Cab. As far as Carlotta sees it, this case should be a pinch until 2 thugs looking for money send her client to the hospital. The old lady's missing brother seems to be involved in something much more dangerous than simply driving a cab. Does Carlotta have what it takes to solve the mystery? So that's book 1 and 2. And I'm hoping my sound continues. So, if I don't screw up here, Lord have mercies. Just a sec. Okay. Elena Hartwell. One dead, two to go. 4 stars. Hartwell has created quite a winner in the unique and clever Eddie shoes, and the first case features not only a twisting, turning, fast-paced plot, but also a number of nuanced, quirky relationships, making for a story that is fun and increasingly absorbing, especially as readers learn more about this headstrong heroine. Though Eddie isn't quite cynical enough to pull off the hard-boiled detective voice she sometimes adopts, overall, this is a clever and well paced mystery that will have plenty of readers engaged for the next installment. Private investigator Eddie Shoes thought that her most recent assignment only required photographing a client's philandering husband. But when his mistress turns up murdered, Eddie realizes this case is a part of something much more dangerous. She's used to working alone, but Eddie has to admit that having her thrill seeking mother as an impromptu assistant is helpful in a case this twisted, especially when Eddie's old flame turns up as the lead investigator. But as her life gets more confusing, Eddie knows that any kind of distraction in this case could prove deadly. And Sophie Working Stiff, Tori Carrington. Um, there are 4 books in this series: Dirty Laundry, Foul Play, uh, and Working Stiff, and the first one is Sophie Metropolis. It got 4.5 stars. And this is the review for book 4. So, picture. The evolution of Sophie Metropolis from devastated non-bride to self-confident woman has been a huge part of the charm of these novels. While humor is still a factor in this one, the focus is more on Sophie's developing deductive skills. Discovering that she's good at finding missing people and cat pets, Sophie is confidently running her vacationing uncle's PI firm. Things quickly get busy. Sophie's aunt demands her help when a body disappears from her funeral home, and Sophie agrees to assist the sister of a prisoner, Johnny Warren. She's sure her brother, who is about to go on trial for murder of his girlfriend, is innocent. On the personal front, Sophie now has 2 very different men in her life: sexy Greek baker Dino and maddeningly mysterious Aussie Jake partner. It is highly appropriate that Halloween is just around the corner as Sophie digs into 2 disturbing cases. Let me just put this down. Harrington. So, something shit goes wrong, I can come back to it. Lisa Gardner, Touch and Go. 4.5 stars. Suspense maven Gardner is known for her flawed but compelling and strong female characters. Here she brings back former cop Tessa Leone from Love You More and introduces new heroine Libby Debbie. The plot, intricacies, and layers of emotional devastation in this high stakes story are immensely riveting. Former cop Tessa Leone is now working as a private eye for a company that aids big corporations. When the entire family of the owner of Denby Construction is kidnapped, Tessa is called in to represent the corporate interests as the police and FBI begin the hunt. What was supposed to be an attempt to save their marriage ends in terror when Libby Denby, her husband Justin, and their 15-year-old daughter Ashlyn are abducted and taken to a currently unused prison that was ironically built by Justin's company. Under pressure, secrets and lies come out, threaten to destroy the family. What do these dangerous and efficient kidnappers want? Check that out. Ah, Brendan Novak, Killer Heat. Now I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked. Ah. So Killer Heat, 4.5 stars. With the third novel in the Department 6 Hired Gun series, Novak succeeds in bringing us a suspenseful story with an intriguing plot. Private investigator Frances Moretti stumbles upon the body of the missing person she's been searching for. Unfortunately, the police don't quite believe her. When they arrive at the spot where Francesca saw the body, they find a mannequin instead. Things worsen when the case crosses with a murder investigation overseen by Jonah Young, an operative from the private security firm Department 6. Jonah betrayed her years ago and she's still holding a grudge. See if that can be worked out. Ah. Roxanne St. Clair, Face of Danger. The percolating heat between FBI agent Colton Lang and PI Vivian Angelo explodes as they end up working the same case but from different angles. St. Clair adds another notch to her growing list of thrilling novels by taking readers on a journey filled with danger, treachery, and murder. Ah, we have a picture. Roxanne St. Clair, Face of Danger. When a second star dies after winning the Best Actress Oscar, talk builds about a red carpet serial killer. Still trying to get her guardian Angelino's firm established, Vivi decides to capitalize on her resemblance to the year's Best Actress frontrunner, Carrie Fiore, by offering to be a body double to catch the killer. Carrie agrees, but with a strange stipulation. Vivi is to fly to Nantucket and stay at Carrie's estate. Vivi gets on the private plane and discovers FBI agent Colton Lang, who was none too thrilled with the switch. When Vivi is attacked in Kara's house by a man asking Kara where she hid the key, Vivi and Lang realize there's more going on than meets the eye. That one had a... Those are gonna be pics. Laurie G. Armstrong, Snowblind. I don't know how white covers work with my video, but we shall see. 4.5 stars. Armstrong is an author to watch as she delivers highly addictive installment in her PI Julie Collins series. With a tough-talking, chain-smoking alcoholic as the main character, you bet this story will be dark and gritty. Julie has been hardened by loss and years of childhood abuse. Her personal issues and family troubles cause her to engage in risky behavior, including a relationship with a gang leader. The investigation business is slow during the cold South Dakota winter, so Julie and her partner Kevin Wells are glad to get a case involving an assisted living facility where a young woman believes someone is taking advantage of her grandfather. Soon, Julie finds the old man frozen to death outside the facility. To make matters worse, she stumbles upon another body at her grandfather's ranch. Not only does Julie have two cases to solve, she also has to watch her back. See how that goes. See what that's. Okay. So that goes there. Okay. Now. Where is it? Where is it? So, another author who we will do at some point. I've talked about her a few times on the the videos. And I love Kinsey. I like her to death. She's a great detective. But half the things she gets involved in, she would not get involved in if she'd had a cell phone. Unfortunately for Kinsey, they weren't invented during her time period. And she's racing for a payphone, or she's waiting on the kindness of a stranger to save her butt. But she gets in so many predicaments that she could have been saved if she had a cell phone. But there's no cell phone during this time period. And there's very little computers. They haven't really. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. They haven't really come into being yet. And unfortunately, we waited and waited and waited and waited. And finally, the computers were coming in and the cell phones were coming in. And Sue Grafton dies of cancer. And the 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 soundbite is that she did not want a ghostwriter to finish her series. So there are 25 books in this series. No, yeah, 25. And there were rumors before COVID, and the rumor mill has been, I haven't seen a single word on this since. There were rumors that Lifetime had picked up against Sue's wishes, but the family may have needed a few dollars, and they might have been working with Lifetime to get the story up and going on Lifetime, and that might have fallen flat. I do not know anything, but that was the rumor way back when. But of course, COVID hit and everything stopped, so there's been zero talk on this since. But Kinsey, I've got a review of a later book, because I started this magazine in 2007. But we can just go. I just got a couple. I did several videos on this series, so please go check that out for if you want an extensive run through of Kinsey's. Yes, she was a former cop who turned detective. So we'll just show these quickly. I've got a review for a later one. They go A through Y. Unfortunately, Z will never be published. A is for alibi. If you can read these, it's very easy to follow. The books are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, and Y. There is no Z. No Z. So A is for alibi. A tough-talking former cop, private investigator Kinsey Malone has set up a modest detective agency in a corner of Santa Teresa, California. A twice-divorced loner with few personal possessions and few personal attachments, she's got a soft spot for underdogs and lost causes. A is for the accused. That's why she draws desperate clients. Nikki Phi. 8 years ago, Nikki was convicted of killing her philandering husband. Now she's out on parole and needs Kinsey to help find the real killer. But after all this time, clearing Nikki's name won't be easy. B is for burglar. Although business has been slow lately for PI Kinsey Malone, she's reluctant to take the case of locating Beverly Danger's sister Elaine. Bolt, it's a matter of that Beverly should be able to handle herself. So why is she enlisting Kinsey's services? Beverly claims she needs Elaine's signature on some documents so that she can collect a small inheritance. But the whole affair doesn't sit well with Kinsey, and there's something she's learned in her line of work is to follow your instincts. And I just thought I'd show this. I didn't realize I had two. C is for corpse. C is for calculated. How do you go about solving an attempted murder when the victim has lost a good part of his memory? Is one of Kinsey's toughest cases yet. She's never backs down from a challenge. 23-year-old Bobby Callahan is lucky to be alive after a car forced his Porsche over a bridge and into a canyon. The crash left Bobby with clouded memory, but he can't shake the feeling it was no random accident and he's still in danger. And I'm just gonna do this one. I'm not gonna go through them all, but this is the one I had the review for. So I just thought I would do it. U is for Undertow. It's hard to believe it's the 21st book in featuring private detective Kinsey Malone. Grafton's gift is that she keeps readers wanting more. In this outing, she's set up an intricate plot that moves seamlessly back and forth between the 1960s and 80s. The pieces of a giant puzzle are parceled out a little bit at a time, which keeps readers guessing how it will all come together. Overriding theme here is family and how time and circumstances change the dynamics of that unit. As Kinsey brings this case together, she makes some discoveries about her mother's family that have been looking at her since childhood. A recent article about the unsolved kidnapping of a young girl that took place more than 20 years ago has unleashed a flood of memories for 27-year-old Michael Sutton. He believes he ran across two men burying the victim when he was 6 and wants Kinsey to look into the case. It's a long shot, but Kinsey soon's fascinated as she investigates. It becomes clear her client's memory isn't entirely reliable. Ah, love these. Oh, and another thing about these books, they're clean. There's no very little violence. There's no adult activity. There's no words. It's all good stuff. It's all PG, I guess. My except for the, some of the yeah, I wouldn't say quite G, maybe G13. I don't know. But I would a late teenager, 16, 17, 18 could read these easy. There's nothing um except when the ex-husband shows up, and even that is too much here. Okay, now let me see if I can do this without screwing up. Um okay. Heart of Ice. PJ Paris. Parrish brings back PI Louise Kincaid for another dark trip into a puzzling mystery. The setting is 1990, so less technology and modern equipment available. The storyline borders on being too disparaging, but quality writing carries the day. Lewis finally gets to spend quality time vacation with his daughter, Lily. While on a bike ride, Lily takes a detour near an abandoned home. She sneaks inside and the floorboards break to reveal a pile of human bones. Trying to keep his daughter from being traumatized, Kincaid agrees to assist the police chief in figuring out whose body was discovered. The chief believes the bones belong to a girl who vanished more than 20 years ago. See how that goes. If I do this, keep track of them. Okay. Oh, if you're a child of the 80s, you remember Bruce. No. Yeah, Bruce Willis. And with the hair. Just a sec. Let me see if I can do this. My lighting is really bad. Ah. Bruce Willis. Sybil Shepherd. Moonlighting. Series based on V.I. Wyshorsky. Or am I wrong? I know it was a TV series. I could be wrong. I think it was P.I. Wyshorsky. Maybe there was a P.I. Wyshorsky. I'm confused. Give me a break. My audio isn't working. It better work. It better work. Are you working? She only works when she's green. So turn green. Turn green. Turn green. Turn green. Turn green. There we go. Green. Rushback. Sarah Paretsky. 4.5 stars. This high-octane, guilty, gritty thriller in the V.I. Wachowski series delivers the multifaceted plot. V.I. takes a beating as major players come at her from all angles, but her tough determination for justice makes a dangerous adversary. The dark, gritty elements of an old steel mill town complement the hard life and family dysfunction that define this novel and the characters. VI's former high school boyfriend, Frank Guzza, requests her help to exonerate his recently released mother, who spent 25 years in prison for murdering her daughter. VI remembers Stella Guzza and her hatred for the Wachowski family. Recently, VI agrees to ask a few questions as she starts delving into the secrets behind Annie's murder. And I was wrong. This is not based on moonlighting. I am so sorry. Um, it was V.I. Wachowski, the series. It was called V.I. Wachowski. I am so wrong. Um, as she starts delving into the secrets behind Annie's murder, she uncovers deceptions that run all the way to the shady politicians. When Stella announces she has Annie's diary implicating V.I.'s deceased cousin, V.I. knows it's a forgery. The stakes are rising, and when her young charge Bernie disappears, V.I. must act quickly before another family is destroyed. We'll see what happens there. And I was so wrong. So wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I was very wrong. I apologize. I'm human. I make mistakes. Besides my analytics, so you're not even here anyway. Wink of an eye. Lynn Chandler Willis. 4.5 stars. Readers won't be able to put this novel down. P.I. Gypsy Moran is the perfect blend of streetwise, smart ass, big heart, nice guy. The mystery is one that keeps readers moving at a fast clip. But the real draw is the great cast of characters, from the precocious Tatum to the snarky grandmother, that Chandler Willis manages to pack so much into this story, with well-rounded characters that are amazing in itself. Gypsy Moran is a private investigator who is on the run himself. When he arrives home in Wing, Texas, he finds himself involved in the investigation of a cop's apparent suicide. The officer's son wants to prove that his father was actually murdered, and Gypsy discovers what may be layers of corruption. But who's involved and how far up does it go? An ex-girlfriend who waited for him to stay in Wink and an attractive investigative reporter only complicate things further. See how that goes. Uh, Allison Brennan. Cold Snap. 4.5 stars. In the latest Lucy Kincaid Brennan novel does a terrific job of weaving 3 murder cases together as members of the extended Kincaid clan race against the clock to save lives and crimes. Filled with action, intrigue, and emotion, Brennan delivers an exceptional novel that is engaging from the beginning to the end. Before heading to San Diego for Christmas and at his mother's and sister's, P.I. Patrick Kincaid attempts to find out why attorney Ellie Santera, the daughter of a family friend, has gone incommunicado. Patrick soon learns that Ellie is trying to keep a witness alive in order to take down a powerful businessman. Meanwhile, a snowstorm delays Lucy and her boyfriend Sean Rogan in Denver, and they soon discover a dead body at a hotel. Finally, a heart attack lands Patriot Colonel Kincaid in the hospital, where a hostage situation traps Detective Katrina Kincaid in a deadly danger. Wow, there's a lot going on in that book. A lot. A man who's been around a while, and we've talked about him on Flashback Monday. He's a very popular author. Scott TUROW. 4.5 stars. TUROW's strange and convoluted plot is surprising and thought-provoking. It provides interesting ideas about relationships between identical twins, while reminding us that things are not always as they seem. Although you may get some inkling of what's going on, there's enough complexity to keep you guessing until the end. You will be rooting for the odd matched pair of investigators to find the truth. Ex-FBI agent Evan Miller and aging PI Tim Brody are working for a wealthy businessman, Hal Korn. Hal is obsessed with finding out who killed his sister Dita more than 25 years ago, a case Tim handled when Chief of Homicide Cass Giannis had been released from prison, having pled guilty to murdering Dita. Hal is convinced that Paul Guinness, current mayoral candidate and Cass's identical twin, was in on the murder, and he's looking for evidence while funding a smear campaign against Paul. Evan and Tim are sucked into a maelstrom of conflict, multiple suspects, and long buried secrets. See what happens there. Uh, Out of order. Claire DeWitt Sandgren, The City of the Dead. Fans of sarcastic, tough, and whip smart female detective, those, for example, who still mourn the loss of TV show Veronica Mars, are sure to warm quickly to Claire DeWitt. The mystery appears lean at first, but Gran adds quite a few layers of pleasing complexity, and rendering of her post Katrina New Orleans rings true. Claire DeWitt is a smart aleck private eye with intelligence to back up her sarcasm and unwillingness to suffer fools. She's called to New Orleans, a city she hasn't visited since her mentor was murdered there, to investigate the disappearance of a prominent DA after Hurricane Katrina. See what happens there. I seem to have misplaced. Oh, it's that. Another series that I did completely on this video channel. So please, while I did all of the books in this series, I will continue to do the books in this series. Um, so please check these out. But I did them all for the series on my channel last year. So please check them out. They were enjoyable. I like the Pluto and the animals. Sometimes I don't know why she takes her animals to all these different scenes with her. They could get hurt. She should leave them home. But sometimes they help save her life a few times or distract the killer. Um, See what happens. Bones of a Feather, 4.5 stars. Deep in the heart of Mississippi Delta, a fantastic private investigator by the name of Sarah Booth Delaney has a funny way of ending up in extremely strange situations. This story becomes fascinating mystery that no reader will be able to solve until the author reveals the end. A perfectly written mystery with a cast that is humorous, charming, and deadly. Could you turn green? Thank you. Sarah is rambling around her old family's Victorian while love of her life, Graf Malou, heads to Hollywood to star in a movie. He wants Sarah to dump the private eye gig before she gets hurt or worse. So when an insurance case comes along, tracking down a missing $4 million necklace, Sarah thinks it will make Gran happy, but soon the simple insurance case turns into ransom. And look at that, she stopped working. I hope this sound hasn't stopped working for you all, because I do not want to have to do this all again. And who's crying? Sandy. What's up, Sandy? And I would tell you that her relationship with Graf from the beginning is doomed. I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. There was too many differences, and they end up breaking up eventually. Sorry. Come here. Come here. Um. Okay. Let's see. I seem to be missing one. Oh, another one. Uh, Misery Bay. 4.5 stars. Steve Hamilton. The new entry in Hamilton's Alex McKnight series is one of his best. The intriguing plot grabs your attention immediately and moves at a steady pace. The characters strong as the plot, they react to events believably and their emotion rings true. Hamilton's perfect balance between plot and characters results in an intensely satisfying read. PI Alex McKnight is hired to find out why a college kid killed himself. It sounds simple enough. He expects to find out the kid was just having a bad day, and that will be that. But as events unfold, McKnight suspects he's witnessing a horrific plan being carried out by an evil and cunning person. See what happens there. Meet you. Okay. When the devil drives. 4.5 stars. Known for his humorous mystery, Scotsman Bruckmeyer has a new darker series set in Glasgow. Book 2 is excellent with strong writing and a richly detailed setting. P.I. Jasmine Sharp is searching for Tessa Garum, a talented young actress who seems to have dropped off Earth in the 80s. Detective Superintendent Captain McLeod has a much more prominent case. A member of the Scots arts community is shot dead at a performance held at an ancient castle. The cases prove to be connected, and someone is determined to protect the past secrets. These sound good. Just a second. Moonlight Mile. Dennis Lehane. Lehane fans will welcome back P.I. Patrick Kenzie and Angie Gennaro after her hiatus of more than a decade. Readers who are unfamiliar with this series should not shy away, for there is much to savor. The strong characters thoughtfully address contemporary issues in a story that told in a crisp, elegant prose. Young Amanda McCready disappeared 12 years ago after a harrowing investigation. P.I. Kenzie and Gennaro found her and returned her to her mom, but the repercussions of that dramatic case aren't over. Amanda's aunt contracts packed her because Amanda, now 16, is missing again. Her mom claims she's fine and the police concur. They visit the home and talk to her. So what is the truth about Amanda? To find the answer, Patrick and Aggie must confront painful memories concerning the case and find answers to new difficult questions. See what happened there. A Body to Die For. And if you want to see her identity, check out Dirty 30 New Year's Eve. Oh, good God. A Body to Die For. Uh, 4 stars. McKevett's latest is witty, charming, and should be read next to your winter fire, with a liberal helping of brownies and hot chocolate. Full figured and proud of it, P.I. Savannah Reed isn't a big fan of regular workouts, but when the Queen of Fitness reports her husband missing, she's drawn to the case. When police find Clarissa Jordan's husband Bill shot to death, all the weighty loss guru's nasty little secrets start surfacing. It seems that the woman who terrorizes her fans into fitness never was the fatty she proclaimed to be. Her infamous before shots are actually of her chubby twin sister Rachel. Bill was charged with dropping off the hush money. Partnering up with Detective Dirk Coulter, Savannah can't help but be a little smug as she watches the skinny exercise guru get a fat dose of comeuppance. They soon discover that the money wasn't all Bill was depositing with his sister-in-law. But there's more than meets the eye in the case where the gambler's girlfriends and gossip get tangled up in Clarissa's house of pain and gain. Okay. The Mercy Oak. 4.5 stars. Uh, Dipping with Southern family relations, sometimes conflict emotions set in South Carolina's low country. This award-winning series continues to delight. The heroine is complicated and touching with her deep loyalties. The interrogation of Hispanic immigration problems clearly shows the changes facing the South as well as the rest of the country. Private investigator and businesswoman Bay Tanner's life is becoming even more complicated with her many personal relationships. Her affair with former brother-in-law is heating up and moving to the question of marriage. Her father continues to age, and the son of her beloved husband calls and draws her into a mystery involving the hit-and-run death of a Hispanic student. Soon someone is watching her and threatening her and those she loves. Her housekeeper and son disappear along with the dead girl's sister, and Bay fears the FBI is using them as bait for a murderer. Okay. Uh, Laura Lippman, another thing to fall. 4 stars. Murder and suspicious stalking on the set of a TV series sets the stage for intricately woven mystery. Lippman's bird-eye view of the overly indulged film actor provides as much entertainment as a compelling mystery. Baltimore PI Tess Monahan is hired by Flip Tumley, the executive producer of a TV series shooting in town, to be the bodyguard for series starter Celine Waits. Flip is concerned for Celine's safety. She had a stalker who apparently committed suicide, but vandalism has occurred near the set, and he believes her life is in danger. Can he save her? Ah, Blonde Faith, Walter Mosley. Ah, 4.5 stars. Mosley, best known detective Easy Rollins, is up against demons both conjured and external in this 10th adventure. His choice to have Easy travel through the decades and age as opposed to staying in one era is brilliant and gives him the chance to trace the highly charged radical politics of LA. When a Vietnam vet friend deposits his daughter on Easy's doorstep and disappears, Easy knows there's trouble when he searches for his pal Christmas Black. He meets some shady characters. Meanwhile, his sidekick Mouse has disappeared. Mouse is accused of murder, and his wife asks Easy to find him before the cops do. Easy Travis, the black, white, and interesting in between worlds of 1967. Ah, interesting. Now, oh, I had it, and I, it was on that sheet, and I lost it, so I won't do it. Alright, so we're gonna do a few honorable mentions without reviews. Hi, Tracy Clarke. When a young red-haired woman is found brutally murdered in downtown Chicago, one detail stands out: the red lipstick encircling her wrists and ankles. Detective Harriet Foster is on the case, even though she's still grieving the sudden death of her partner. As a black woman in a male-dominated department, Foster anticipates a rocky road ahead. Acclimating to a new team and building trust with her new partner isn't coming quick easily. After another victim turns up the same lipstick markings, Foster suspects she's looking for a serial killer. Through a tip from psychiatrist, Foster learns about Brody Morgan, a troubled man with a twisted past and a penchant for pretty young redheads with the bluest eyes. Irene Hannon vanished. Reporter Monica Harrison is lost in the dark in a thunderstorm when a lone figure suddenly appears in the beam of her lights. Moira slams on her brakes, but too late. She feels the solid thump against the side of her car before crashing into the tree on the side of the road. Why did I think this was PI? Oh, I get it now. A man opens her door, tells her he saw everything, and promises to call 911. Then the world fades to black. When she comes to, she's alone. No man, no 911, no injured person. But she can't forget the look of terror she saw in the face in the instant before her headlights swung away. She can't get anyone to believe her story except a handsome ex-homicide turned private eye who reluctantly agrees to take her case. So there was a private eye in there someplace. All right, let me take this. Well, that solved that problem. My computer just turned itself off. So we finished Vanished. So let's get the rest of these. Batting 1,000 today. We did an Allison Brennan a while. I'll just throw this up here. Allison Brennan, once again with Lucy Kincaid. Nothing more important to private investigator Sean Rogan than his relationship with FBI trainee Lucy Kincaid. But when his past catches up with him, Sean faces an ultimatum. Clear his name and help the FBI take down a rogue agent or go to prison and lose everything he holds dear. With only Agent Noah Armstrong as his backup and forced to keep Lucy in the dark, Sean steps back in his old world, but the longer he's undercover, the more dangerous the game becomes. More than Sean's future with Lucy's sake, so is his life. See what happens there. Duplicity. Ingrid. Draft. When Cece Renaud hires Ludlow and Associates to sue the hip new church that she believes has brainwashed her daughter, Fiona Ludlow is assigned to the case. Covenant Rising Church has all the trappings of a less-than-holy organization, a slick young pastor and his comely wife, fancy houses and luxury cars, and devout congregants who seem eager to part with their money. Fiona wonders if Cece disapproves of Covenant's rising theology or the pastor's abilities to solicit generous donations until a prominent church member dies. Nancy Bush, the gossip. In high school, rumors can't make or destroy your reputation. A thoughtless nickname can turn each day into a living hell. Gossip is irresistible and contagious, but sometimes gossip can kill. Mackenzie Long, formerly with Oregon's River Glen Police Department, has reluctantly agreed to investigate a local woman's disappearance. The case reconnects her with Jesse Taft, a PI gifted at getting under Mac's skin. When the body is found tangled in the river weeds, Mac and Taft realize that this case has changed from one missing woman to a hunt for a killer. A guy that's been around a very long time. This is another series we should look into. Payback. P.I. Sunny Randall has often relied on the help of her best friend Spike in times of need. When Spike's restaurant is stolen under predatory loan agreement, Sunny has a chance to return the favor. She begins digging into the life of the hedge fund manager who screwed Spike over. Surely a guy that's swarmy has a skeleton or two in his closet, and soon finds his new enemies have the backing of even worse criminals. At the same time, Sunny's cop contact Lee Farrell asks her to intervene with his niece, a college student who reported being the victim of a crime that seems to know more than she's telling. As the uncooperative young woman becomes outright hostile, Sunny runs up against a wall that she's only determined to scale. Okay, and the final book, or series, there's over 20 books in this series now, and he started out as a cop, and he's a cop for the first 10 books, maybe 10 or more books, and then he becomes a private investigator. And I did this whole series on video last year, so please check those out if you want more information. We may do the Walker series, and we may do the Allie Reynolds series at some point. J.A. Jance, J.P. Beaumont, and this is be careful what you wish for. Before he retired, J.P. Beaumont had looked forward to having his days to remind him and spend quality time with his busy wife, Mel Birmingham's chief of police, and his 2 grown children, but much too free time doesn't suit a man used to brushing close to danger. Bill wants to do something useful, a wish that is soon fulfilled with spades. When his longtime nemesis, retired Seattle crime reporter Maxwell Cole, dies in what officially deemed an accidental fire, B is astonished to be dragged into the investigation at the request of none other than the deceased victim himself. He left a note. If I die, someone killed me. On opposite sides of the homicide coin, there had been bad blood between the 2 men for years. In the process, Bio learns that a long ago case was solved doesn't mean it's over. It seems that before his death, Cole was writing a book about some of the investigations he's covered and stumbling on information on a past crime involving Bo. Caught up in a situation where old actions and grudges can hold dangerous consequences in the present, Bo is forced to operate outside the familiar world of law enforcement. And he's becoming a private investigator. I love J.P. Beaumont. I do. And that is the end of the private investigators. I hope that went a little bit better than I expected after I discovered that my sheet had been destroyed. But I had made all my notes, all my little oh, excuse me, my little clip notes. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe and support me in all this, I'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you.